folks, and welcome back to TIMBERBORN. First off, apologies for the longer than expected delay. Work took all of my faculties towards the back half of last week, and I decided I didn't want to make any more content where I was basically falling asleep halfway through the video. So, yep, it is now Sunday, and that means you'll be seeing this on Monday, probably. So, yeah. Figured it was better to make videos while I was awake rather than whilst I was barely conscious. I have finished clearing out the thingy. Yeah, I know. Good technical description there. I really liked the suggestion that I had to inset the supports, and because I was clever / cautious, we actually have the opportunity to do that. We do need to do a little bit of work to enable it on the far side. So, really good cartoons, those, if you're a bit of a geek. So what we're going to do is try and enable that. Then we're going to need to do a little bit of counting, I think. And who doesn't like counting? Ha ha. I won't go any further than that, don't worry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, so that one is on 6. Interesting. Just double check that. Two, 3. So I think we could go one more, maybe there. I'm not certain. This side, 5. So you can have an overhang of 3. Let's just test something. Doubting myself, partly because it's been a while. 2, 3. So then if we had a support there, but here, a support there, I lined it up properly. No. I should have tested this stuff, obviously, without you watching, but hey, you get to see my thought processes. And, you know, this is the reality of how I do things, so yeah. So yeah, we could move that across 1. So that's good. Right, let's delete that. Let's delete all of those. Let's delete that. Let's delete that. So what we're going to do is staircase up the outside of here. And I'm wondering if that will then let us tunnel here. Out here. Delete that. And likewise, let's delete. So we'll do these as a bit of an experiment. And then we'll do the rest of them. We're going to have to do it bit by bit anyway, I think. So let's do that. Let's tunnel you out. That's right, isn't it? Yep. And let's come over here. We can tunnel this one out anyway, and we can tunnel this one out. Right, so let's get that going. Also, yes, you guys were all right. I mean, the product jobby should manage this for me, but do I turn off these, or do I think I can just rely on, we've got picking these up prioritized, so I think we can just, yeah. Oh, they've done that already. Wow, okay. Right, so if we delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that. They've got a bunch of work to do getting those built still, but we can then start to think about this side. Actually, we need to go down another one. You might not have needed to do that. Anyway, as I said, you get to see me think this through in somewhat real time. So this guy, we actually delete that one, delete that one, do it at the level below there. We essentially want to put in a hung piece. Then the question becomes, far out do we need the tongue to go? I think we want it to be a triple. Oh, do we need to go down another one again? Maybe we do. Yeah, because it's not going to let us put another one on top of that, is it? Okay. We're learning. And now we can just use dynamite. That. Use dynamite on there, can't we? Delete that. And we'll then consider whether we actually want to do this or not. So I'm thinking a triple. Net 6. And we could use a double in that case. It's probably better. 6, that gets us to the middle. Put a 6 back that way, just to do the roof support. And I quite like that. So yeah, what we need to do is to tunnel there, but we need to be able to get to it on with what we've done. Can I? No. So that was a dumb idea. All right. Get rid of those, and let's just there. So equally, let's get rid of that. Those. 3. I don't know why I'm bothering to do that actually, because we're going to need to work our way back across, aren't we? So, yeah. Then we can delete all of this end scaffold as well. So many planks knocking about. It's pretty crazy. going to save the game before I delete this other one once I have got it in place. Otherwise, we're in pretty good shape. The forest's looking okay. Scrap metal is a bit low. We could address that by probably prioritizing these guys by haulers or building them some storage. Or turning on the mine, but I don't really want to deal with injured beavers at the moment, so do that. Someone suggested the clever idea of linking that to here, I think. I think that was just, or maybe that to there. Quite like that idea once we've done some other things. There's, I think, quite a few optimizations we can do to our pathing system. I guess maybe we could do those while we're doing this, but reach that now? They can. Awesome. So I'm just thinking that what I want to do to mirror what we've done already actually is do that, which means we need one more of these. Okay. And actually maybe we could do that whilst doing that. Uncaught exception occurred. Okay. So, the downside of having disabled autosave to improve performance is we're having to do this again. The plus side is I have learned how I want to do it this time, so we can do it more efficiently, maybe. Yeah. Things. Anywho, let's get this done. Hopefully, right, there we go. So yeah, I've just repeating the process. The time might be off because I've had to reload from where I started, but anywho, we'll find out if we get the same exception. If we do, I'm gonna have to stop and I guess wait for some mods to be updated. This is my first attempt at playing since they updated the game after the update, I guess. That makes sense, doesn't it? First attempt at playing the game after they updated the update. Yeah, good word usage. Go me. I'm not sure what I'm attempting to achieve here, other than not very much. So let's delete those before they try and build, shall we? I think I was trying to move that pile of planks. Anyway, yeah. So what have I done? You can see the bits that I've done in here. So I've put that back. We're working on getting this built. I've not done the stuff this side yet, and I've put the warehouse in for the scrap metalers. So we are going to try and get back to where we were before. Otherwise, everything else is vaguely okay, I think. But yeah, I did think about just restarting and re-recording the whole intro thing, but you might as well see the reality of what happened, because that is what happened. I'm going to down prioritize this a little bit so that they actually build things, because it's the builders that do the picking up of stuff, and otherwise they're going to constantly do that first. I mean, I guess it still means they're going to do that first, unless we do that. There we go. Until there's no storage space for planks, I guess, and then they'll carry on building. But anywho, so the plan is to have a colony in here, as I said. We do need to start to think about as well bringing the water supply in here, which means we will need to get up to the level of the that looks to be in line with the water supply. Where did I put that ladder? That looks correct. We're going to need to build a stack of ladders that goes up to the water source. Well, we're going to need to make some sort of tunnel that brings in water because the water source is higher than the cavern. So we'll go to about the top of the cavern, I guess, because that'll give us a cool waterfall effect. So we'll do that as well. Alright, that's in. So let's come in here. Let's delete that. Let's put in the piece of dynamite to drop that down one more level. We're going to need to tunnel in then to somewhere there. And we're going to need to go up. Tunneling up could be interesting, but we'll see how we get on. I'm going to make this a low priority. I want them to do this job first, please and thank you. They're getting that, and that's all built. Awesome. It's a bit confusing where it goes against the roof because you can't actually see it. Let's hit save. So we actually save our progress. There we go. So then if we do the same thing, might have a bit of an issue with building this one. So there. This one's not going to be symmetrical. Might trigger some of you, but you know, to go there. I'm not going to rebuild the stairs or the ladders. There, and that should let us build the rest of it. And then we're going to save the game again before we delete the structure, just in case my testing proves to have been incorrect. And then we'll do the one at the other end. And I guess we could start setting up for this one. So we need to come down one to there. Build up so that we can get to it. Actually, I feel like it would be more... Yeah, we can work around that. Over here. I'm just thinking, actually, we need to work this way. I know, because we end up replacing it and keeping the path intact anyway, don't we? Yeah, that's fine. So we need to delete that. Delete that. Put that there. That should work. Okay, I think. Hopefully that will work. Too far from a district. Okay. That should do it. Leave. That's getting built. Please don't crash game. Let's go check on our... That's working. We're going to prioritize that by haulers. know it's inefficient. It's fine for now. I don't want to have beavers in the mine. But yeah, awesome. That there. That there. Delete that. That there, and then we need to delete that ladder. Hopefully that'll all be okay. That built yet? Not quite. Almost. Must remember to save the game before we delete the things. That's going in. Done. Just need that one to be done, which needs some logs. That's hooked up. Still being done. So, let's get tunnel there. Can we? And tunnel up a block. Awesome. We need to tunnel up quite a few blocks to get to that. So that could be a challenge. Block. There. There. That is too far from a district. So what we're going to do is we're going to tunnel that one out, and I think we can then put a staircase in. But what we need to do now is save. Then okay, then we can delete. It's worked. Delete all of that. Awesome. Excellent. Right. So let's delete you. H for boom, remember. That in there. So we need some platforms there, paths to there, ladders to there, to there. This side we need to delete that, to detonate that, to delete that. Double. Six, 5. Awesome. While they work on building that, we can work on thinking about this, I think what we can do is delete these ones. Well, let us put a ladder there. Then let us build that one. Hopefully. The plan, anyway. Crash game. Thank you. Right, we're going to have to, do some tidying up with all this junk when we've got it built. But we are getting there. So let's delete that bit of extraneous path. We can delete that. That's getting built. That's getting built. This is awesome stuff. Obviously, the benefit is it's going to give us all that can go. Delete. You could go. You aren't needed. Go to there. Not needed. Excellent. Obviously, we're clearing a lot of internal space, which is very cool. Once we, it's going to give us a blank canvas now. I know it's maybe a bit boring having so many videos trying to get this set up, but it's a big project, so, can't be helped, I'm afraid, folks. Of those. Yeah. Go to that one. Get to that one. We'll have to build that, and then hopefully we can get to the next one, and then hopefully we can get ladders up there. Yay. That one they cannot. Right. So, can we put a tunnel? We can put a tunnel on top of a ladder. Awesome. That's really cool. So maybe we didn't need to do it this way. Maybe we could have knocked those out and put... But anyway, we're getting there. So what I'm not planning to do... Let's not do that one. Let's learn from this. Let's remove all of those. Yes, thank you. Let's ladder our way all the way up there, and then let's tunnel. We're not going to put the last piece in because we're in a bad tide, and I don't want to let bad water in here. Now, I don't necessarily want to let unrestricted good water flow in either, but right, that's done. So again, because I'm a little bit paranoid, let's save the game. Then let's delete you. Right. Yes, if we then come in, let's count actually. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I guess we can go one inside each of those. Just with 1, 2, 3, 4. We might have to do something funky in the middle, but yep. So same again, I guess. Do the furthest one first. There. There. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 apart. It'd be alright, actually. That'd be okay, you know. Might be good. So we need to come over here. So we're going there. There. Get our ladders. There. Now, I think we're going to be good actually once we've got these in. Good. That's good until the last piece. So, I think what would be sensible, I'm wondering if I do things I want to do. Prioritize picking up all of those, but you know, we don't have space for that really. Then my thought is if I delete the path, and then let's go slow speed. If I put the tunnel in, is it too far away? It's not. All right, let's pause it. Because my thought is that we put in the sluice. We get them to pretty much build it. Then we'll pause that. Then we can build the tunnel piece. And then we get them to finish building that. And a bit of water will come in. And we're going to do it during a good tide anyway. But yeah, that's my thought. You're in. So let's delete you. Put a piece of dynamite in. Come over here. Reach those. Well, let's demolish you. Put in a ladder. And I guess we could do the same here. You. Around. Put a ladder on top of it. Let's put that there. Path over the top. Now get that going. So we're getting there. We're getting there. I know this is slow progress, but I think if we can get water in here, finish these roof struts off, then that might be a good success for today. Just going to save the game again. Sorry, I know this is a little bit paranoid, but having had that crash. So the other suggestion that we were looking at was picking these up, basically, which would be relatively easy. I don't want to tunnel across because I don't want to join these up and affect flow, but we could just go over the top, I guess. They could work on building this in the background. So there's no harm in putting this in, I don't think. There. May it not have been what you had in mind when you suggested it, but, you know, it's a thing. And let's go back into the cavern. Donate that. Delete that. Supply is holding up okay. How's the reservoir looking? I also liked the suggestion of deepening the reservoir, but my thought was that I only wanted to delete this bit. The logic being that while there's water in this, we rely on it to hydrate things like these trees. So I don't want to pump while there's water in here, but once we get to this point, I think it's worth pumping. So my thought was that if we deepen this, that's in there for, so we'll get rid of that. But what I'm going to do is get this down to max depth. Wasting a little bit of water with this, with the old fluid dump, because of the way it's configured. So we could do that better, maybe. In that this is configured to keep it at 0.3. If we did, I think someone suggested this, advanced. Attached to stream gauge. This one. Match is set to unpause below. Something like that. And pause above. That should do it. We'll let them work on doing that. Back over here. That in. Here, delete that. Delete that. That in, put that in. unpause that, and we'll let them get that partially built. To start to put some sort of water thingy in the corner here. Technical term. Prioritize that as the drought ends. Need to make sure they don't actually finish building it. We just want them to bring the resources and do most of the build. Just right. Next, up here, unpause that. Now actually, just thinking. First off, we need that to be built right away, and that's going to be closed before we flood this thing. There we go. We might have issues with how I've done this. I might have to manually control it. That's a problem for future me. I'm just thinking that if this gets full of bad water at the start of a bad tide, it's never going to clear to then flow. So we might actually have been better to put a put it here. Oh well, we've done it now. We've caused a problem. We'll have to fix it at another point. Anyway, future me can deal with that. Get those in. Keep an eye on that. Awesome. Detonate that. We will build this one first. So let's enable that by placing all the components of it. That's the best way to enable something to be built, isn't it? If we want these to be built, then we need to give them access to building it. So that would probably help, wouldn't it? Yep. Yeah, it would. There. Beaver. They cope till we unstrand them. Or they die. Yes, it was probably my fault they're stranded, but you know what? Kind of tough. Where are they stranded? Oh no, that's their own fault. And they're blocking the build of that by the looks of it. Delete that. Yep. Annoying. plenty of wood now. You can go, and what I was thinking over here was to remove this. That was something that I put in between videos. Go over here. That's all in. So that's mostly in. It's in enough. Let's detonate it. And they're now at maximum depth, so we won't go any further than that. And what I'm going to do, if I can, yep, I can, is put a, it's going to be really annoying. I'm going to have to manually control those. Oh well. Let's delete that there, and then we can put our little water pool in. Going in. Awesome. Not to prioritize that. So that we can fill this with water just because it'll look cool. Slightly annoyed that I got that wrong. We'll have to wait for a drought to fix that. It's not the end of the world, it's just a little bit frustrating. Yeah, the gap between those is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that should be fine. That should be fine. So glad when we're not just stuck building a hole in the ground. But not close above contamination. You get a little pond. Eating. How cool is that? And they get some irrigated land. That's getting, wow, it's irrigating quite a lot actually. That's built. So now we can to the one going this way. There's me thing, right? There. There. If I can get all of that built, we'll be in a really good place. Oh, they're just not building them yet. That's okay. Cool. Got water. We've got irrigated land. So yeah, the idea is this is going to be a small little colony inside the cave. I'm not expecting it to be completely self-sufficient because I'm not that optimistic. Particularly for things like water, because of the very extended bad cycles. Good word usage. Expecting that during those periods we will need to have support systems for them. But by that I mean bringing in water, such. That as a supply. Just to help with these guys getting their efficiency up a little bit higher, although it is pretty good anyway. Actually, that's not going to work, is it? Because that's a bridge. Yeah. But we can replace that. And because we've got the tubeways, that won't be terribly bad. Replace that with platforms. I know a bridge is nicer, but anyway. Height of platforms is that. Doubles. Not like we're short of planks or anything. So that'll just give them a way to store water. Get rid of some of these unnecessary bits of path now. I know you guys like me having unnecessary pathways. I was going to irrigate this bit, wasn't I? I think. Don't know why I put that there, actually. Anyway. Yeah, so my plan with this... and I would like to automate it, but I don't think Simple Triggers is smart enough because I want these to pause when the drought starts and then unpause when it gets below a level. And but either that or just my tired brain at the moment is not up to sorting it. One or t'other. One or t'other. That will help us. Actually, with where we are with that, I think, again, because it's almost on the network, I'm going to put another large storage tank there, set to supply. Because we were a bit touch and go with the old water storage, in fact, we're going to put 2 up there. Might even build other pump. Right, you. We could also put some there, couldn't we? Put one there. Not a bad idea, and then we'll go back in the cavern and have a little look at what's going on in there. The building has finished. Not quite. That side's all done. That's all done. Just those to go. And I'm going to save the game, obviously, before we delete all of the other supports. Because I'm not crazy. Thanks, you say. We could be short of those. Oh, no, we're not. So we've got hundreds of them laying around still. And we're about to get even more. So, you know, it's not like it's a problem. I would like to... basically, we just need to fill our water stores up, which is probably not an issue, because it's going to take us 6 days, apparently, to do that. We should have a good chunk of that, hopefully. Thanks again. And that one needs everything anyway. How's everything else holding up? Food's got a little bit low. Let's go have a look at that, shall we? Oil has got low. So you, I guess, haven't unpaused yourself. Post us restarting the game. That should sort that out. That should hopefully help. Mangroves have just been eaten. Kohlrabi are just being eaten. So, yeah. I think that should resolve that. Because we've got like 5,500 food otherwise. So, we just need them to process the eggplants. Yeah. Right. So, is everything built? No. That one's not built yet. Let's prioritize it. I think I've got a few other things prioritized as well, so that probably doesn't work. Except that they've built those, so this should now be getting built, hopefully. Triple speed, and it'll get done triple as fast. I know words. Tidy everything up, and then we'll be done for today, folks. There we go. Right. Well, you know, the first thing we do, again, we save the game. Slow down time so we don't make mistakes. Like when you're driving the car and you turn the radio down. Yes. Let's go back up to the top and check we still have a roof. It should tell me if I'm going to be deleting terrain. But you never know. So just going to take it easy. That can go. All of that can go. Looking good. They're looking good. Those can go. Those can go. Those can go. Those can go. Those should be able to go. Theory, all of that can go. And that means, in theory, all of that can go. That piece of path can go. Those can go. And We've done it. We now have a nice clear floor. An entrance there, which means those can go as well because they're not needed. And next time we come in to the save, we can start building. I really wish there was like a better free camera mode so I could come in and move around more freely. But yeah, we have our cavern done. So, I know I said it would be this time, but next time we will start the process of building the colony in there. I think will be kind of cool. We've also, in the meantime, hooked up the pathway across here. These guys are busy stripping all of this out. We probably should also, while things are more sane, pick up some of this trash. By trash, I mean vital resources. I think one of the next things I would like to do, because I think we're in a position where we can now. This here, we could come up here and sort this out as well. Oh no, we did it, didn't we? Yeah, we did it. Because we've got another permanent power source over here, we could actually get another water wheel in there. A little bit of finagling. It's a good word, isn't it? I would like to start thinking about bots. Think particularly for jobs like pumping water, so that we could increase the speed we are filling our water tanks. Not that we're doing that overly slowly. It looks like we should be good for filling those up, which is awesome. It's kind of handy that we've now got lots of water storage quite close to the water pumps. And we've kind of got this weird situation where we've got a tiny tubeway station there and then one there, so they could almost go from there, tubeway up to there and into there. And we could have to take some crops out, but we could tubeway it right to the door there, but I don't think that's worth it. Tree situation's looking good. We should probably expand our log storage some more. The food situation could probably be improved, predominantly with more storage again. Plants are not, eggplant rations are not going up significantly. So I think we need more canola oil processing. If I moved that tank, I could put another one there. is I could put the tank there. Then put the oil press there. Path there. Pretty sure we've got canola seed storage there. That works. That will double our canola oil production. It's running at 96%, and we're just not stockpiling any at the moment, which is screwing this up. And not that, but actually we're okay for fermented cassavas. So yeah, that will hopefully help with that. We could put another fermenter there. We could start growing soybeans. That might be worthwhile. So we could maybe look at establishing another farm, but I want to get a tree farm on here. And what that means is I want to add another layer of dirt on top of here and have some water flowing through it. Might actually divert this, the excess coming out of here, up and over, so that it flows through here and then into here. Because at the moment, it doesn't really add any benefit. So that might be the next job outside of that colony. But I think bots will be good. So that we can run the mine. I'm not keen on putting beavers into the mine because of the injury rate, so we might set up a bit of bot production over here. Get a bit more power generation going in here. Maybe straighten this out a little bit. Yeah, maybe neaten this up, get some more power going, get some bot production going. Actually get this colony going. Got 3 days, 2 days to fill the water stocks up. Let's put one more. I feel like we need to do a lot of organisation of stuff as well. It probably wouldn't be an awful idea to build like a raised platform with water storage over the top of this. Having it on the tunnel network. Be off of this. Probably wouldn't hurt to chop this corner out actually. Make the reservoir bigger. Yeah. Maybe chop this corner out and then build over it with a big water storage complex. To neaten everything up. But with the drought approaching, we can also sort out moving this to where it needs to be, which is all the way back here. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you next time.